dancers. So I'm going to bring you another conditioning video today. Today we're going to talk about a turnout. I know this is one of favorites. This is one of the favorite topics of ballet students worldwide. Everyone is trying to look for the secret to magically give us amazing 180-degree turnout. And so today I'm going to be explaining to you what it means in the body to turn out, and also I'll give you about 5 exercises that will help you both understand what it feels like in your own body to turn out and strengthen that position in different ways. So a couple of things you'll need before you get started. You'll need either 2 like soccer-sized balls, or you can also use pillows. I'm using pillows. They should be pretty fluffy pillows. They shouldn't be too flat. The next thing you'll need is kind of a small ball. You can use one of the soccer balls, but something smaller might be good. And then the third is going to be a TheraBand. I'm going to use a mini loop band. If you don't have one of these, no problem. You can just use your regular TheraBand. I'll show you how to do that one. Okay. So before we do our exercises, I just want to talk to you a little bit about how turnout is actually achieved inside the body. The hard thing is we can't see inside of our bodies when we're dancing, so we don't actually see the mechanics of what's happening. So I want to go through it a little bit with you, and I hope that by understanding what's happening in your body, you'll be able to feel it better and to be able to achieve it. So first of all, we should know by now that turnout comes from our hips. It's a motion happening in our hips. But I want to explain to you a little bit more in depth what's happening. Sometimes if you don't really know what a hip joint looks like, you can imagine it's just like this one thing. So first of all, what's a joint? A joint is a meeting of 2 parts of the body, 2 bones of the body. So the hip joint is the meeting of our leg, the top of our leg, of the femur bone, and our pelvis. Okay, so I'm going to show you a picture here so you can see it well. There we go. So this is your pelvis. This is the front of your pelvis. This is the back of your pelvis. Okay, this is where your bottom would be. And this is the top of your leg bone. Okay, do you see how it's kind of got a ball at the top? So we call this kind of joint, this kind of meeting of the bones, a ball and socket joint. Okay, so it fits in to the pelvis. Okay, and joints are very important because joints allow our bodies to bend. So your knees are joints, your elbows are joints, right? Your feet and your feet and legs, your ankles, those are joints as well. So joints allow movement in the body. Now, when we're talking about the hip joint, the meeting of that leg, the femur, and the pelvis, that allows movement in a few different ways. It allows you to kick your leg to the front, to the back, to the side, and it also allows movement outways, which we would call turnout, right? Or in. We don't like to talk about this very much in ballet, but you can rotate inwards, okay? Not parallel, that would be straight, but actually turning in. Your body can move that way too. And these are all for good reasons, okay? It allows us to do all sorts of things in our daily life that we need to, not just dance. Okay, but we are glad that it allows us to dance. So we're going to talk about how this movement is controlled now. So even though your turnout comes from a joint, okay, the movement of a joint, so show you a picture again, okay, the top of the leg meeting with the pelvis. So if you imagine this rotating out, that would be you turning out, okay. Even though it comes from the joint, it's controlled or strengthened by muscles surrounding it. Okay, so I also have some blocks here. We know if you imagine these are your little legs here, okay, they don't exactly look like this, and it's not a perfect idea. It should probably come more in like this, but the idea is that when you turn out from your hips, you're rotating your leg, okay, in the hip socket, in the pelvis. Okay, so this is turning out and turning in. Now, unlike this, your joint doesn't look like this, does it? It doesn't have big, wide circles that your leg can't turn all the way around. That would be crazy if it did. That would be insane. We'd all have 360-degree turnout, okay? Unfortunately, we do not. We don't. Our bodies protect us by not letting us turn all the way around. So um, there is some limitation. Now, depending on your makeup, you may have more ability to turn out or to externally rotate than someone else, or you may have less ability. Um, that is dependent on both the joint, okay, how much room you have in your joint, but also how strong your muscles are. I'm going to show you a picture of the muscles that control your turnout. Now, it's very difficult to envision these and to see these because they are tiny muscles inside your pelvis. Okay, so I'm going to show them to you through this picture. If you see the dancer lying down, okay, and you see the bones, you see her hip joint here, and you see these red strands here. These are the muscles, we call them deep six muscles, or the rotators, that help support and control external rotation or turning out. All right, they are small and compared to a lot of the muscles around them, okay? And they are hard to feel because they are so small. So if we talk about using our glutes, everyone can kind of clench their bottoms, and we can feel that. We know what that feels like to really engage our glutes. These muscles are smaller, so it's a little bit harder for us to know in our bodies if we are using them, but we can know, okay? And there is a way to strengthen them. There are also muscles that surround, okay, the pelvis and the femur that can support turnout, okay? So these are the glutes, okay, can be our hip flexor, can be some of our leg muscles. Those are more supportive muscles for turnout, but these are the ones that are going to be, their main job is to support turnout, okay? Our deep six muscles. All right, so we're going to do a few exercises. The first few are about just trying to feel those deep six muscles, trying to get us to understand what it feels like when they are activated. And the last few are going to be using them in different ways, both with the leg to the front, to the side, and to the back, to see how we can improve turnout by activating those muscles. So we can't change what's happening in the joint, really. We can't change our bones, okay? But we can strengthen the muscles so that we have more range and we have more control, okay? So we're going to do our first exercise. You're going to need your pillows or those two soccer-sized balls. Now, one of the difficulties, okay, can be that when we engage our deep six muscles is to not over contract our glutes. So something happens if we're not used to engaging the deep six, is that our glutes want to kind of take over and just kind of clench in there. The glutes are a very powerful muscle and they like to do a lot of work. So we have to actively and thoughtfully try to release them as we do this kind of exercise, so that we are trying to engage the deep six and not the glutes. Okay. Another thing that we have to be very careful of this exercise is that we don't tilt our pelvis. Okay. So we're going to be lying down, and we know that in ballet, good pelvic alignment is that neutral pelvis, right? Staying in the middle, not tilting backwards or forwards. So I want you to think about that, keeping your pelvis nice and stable. And I also want you to think about, as much as possible, not clenching your bottom. Okay. So you're going to come lying down into a butterfly position, okay? And you're going to place one pillow under each knee. I'm going to turn this way, so you can see. Okay, so I've got one pillow under each knee. Okay. Now, this is a very small movement. What we're going to do is we're going to press into the pillows for an 8 count. We're going to press into them as much as we can, opening up our legs, trying to engage those deep six. We're going to count for 8, and then we'll release for 8. I don't want you to feel like your bottom is clenched, okay? It's going to be very difficult. You're going to probably start to get frustrated, like, why can't I just not clench my bottom? That's going to be your challenge here, is to try to push down into the pillows, engage the deep six without over-recruiting your glute muscles, okay? And keeping your pelvis neutral. So your pubic bone should rise here, okay? We're not pulling the pelvis into a tilt. We're going to do I think let's start with 8 sets. All right, so you can rest your hands wherever they're comfortable. I'm just going to put mine here on my hips. It also can remind you, if you put your hands here, not to tilt your pelvis. Okay, let's do our first set. Ready and press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release. Okay, how did you do? Yes, you have to release your glutes. I know it's hard. Ready? Let's go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release. Yes. Okay, a little bit easier that time. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Press. You can do it. 7, 8. Release. I know your glutes, they want to keep turning on, don't they? Mine too. We can do this. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release. Next set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release. Here we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release. Couple more sets. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release. Let's do one more just for good luck. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release. Come on up. All right. So it's not easy, is it? It's really difficult to exercise to do without punching your bottom. The more you do it, the easier it will become. And the more you do it, the more awareness you will have in how to activate those tiny little muscles inside your pelvis, which is really important for understanding how to control your turnout. And I do want to let you know that you will feel something in your bottom engage. It's not that we have to have a completely relaxed bottom, or like we can't engage any of our gluteal muscles, but we don't want to clench them. The reason is when we clench them, we kind of stiffen up the joint, and it makes it actually harder to turn out, and it also can tilt the pelvis. Okay, if you think about really clenching your bottom as hard as you can, oftentimes what happens is the pelvis goes whoop. Okay, it kind of swings under and tilts. So it's twofold. It's one, we want to keep the pelvis in the neutral position, and it's also we want to make sure there's space in the joint for the rotation to happen, and it's not jammed up in there because the glutes are really tightening it up. Okay, all right, let's do our second exercise. So this one you're going to need your TheraBand exercise. TheraBand. So I'm going to use the loop band, but I'll show you how to do this with the TheraBand first. Okay. So you're going to take your TheraBand and you're going to wrap it around your legs, and you're going to tie off one side to the other. So you're going to tie it into a knot, and you want it to be pretty snug. Okay, the more, the snugger it is, the more resistance you're going to have. If you have a pretty light TheraBand, I would recommend doubling it up around your legs so you feel more resistance. Now, because these bands have a tendency to roll, it's super annoying after a while, you're going to hold your TheraBand, and that's going to hopefully prevent it from rolling so much. And now you're going to come back onto your elbows. If you have a small loop band, you're just going to loop it right above the knees. Okay? Put our legs in, and the loop band comes right above our knees. Okay? So we're all on our elbows here. Now we have our feet about hip width apart. Okay? We're going to turn them out, turn our legs out here. We're going to increase the rotation without clenching our bottoms. And then we're going to come back in. Easy peasy, right? Here we're going to do 10 sets. Are you ready? Here we go. Turn it up, open it up, bring it back, parallel. Turn it up, open it up, bring it back, parallel. Don't clench your bottom. Turn it up, open it up, bring it back to parallel. Turn it out, open it up, bring it back to parallel. Turn it up, open it up, bring it back to parallel. Turn it up, open it up, bring it back to parallel. Turn it out, open it up, bring it back to parallel. turn it out, open it up, bring it back to parallel. 2 more, turn it out, open it up, bring it back to parallel. Last one, turn it out. We're going to open it up. I want you to try to turn out even more without clenching your bottom. You can do it. Come on, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And release. Okay, nice and simple, right? So you should feel something right kind of underneath your cheeks there, okay, working, but not the major glute muscle. Okay, so if you feel something right underneath your tush working, that's good. That's one of your deep six muscles, but you don't want the major part of your glute to feel like it's constantly contracting. You want to try to release that as much as you can. Okay, so let's do another one to feel those deep six muscles. You're going to grab your ball here, and you're going to place it between your thighs. So right where your band was, your TheraBands, you're going to place it right above the knees. Okay, we're going to start with our legs in at 90-degree angle. So we're going to lift them up here. Okay, you're going to press into the ball, and you're going to rotate in and out, and you're going to come down 45 degrees. In and out, and come down a little bit more. In and out, and back, and in and out, and up. Okay, now this one is, I'm sneaking a little core there. It's not just for turnout, it's also going to test your core because your legs are lifting and lowering. So you'll have to engage the core here. Get a 2 for 1. Make sure that you have your ball well placed so it's not going to slide around. This is easier to do if you have it against skin because it's not going to slide as much. But if it happens to fall out, no problem, just pop it back in place. You're good to go. I think let's go for 8 sets with this. So all the way down, all the way back up is 1 set. Your core is going to get a little tired. It's okay. It's good. It means that you're getting stronger. Just tell yourself, it means I'm getting stronger. Be careful though, if you start to get tired at your back, you don't let your back arch, okay? We want to protect our backs, pull the core in. If you're getting tired and you can't stop your back from arching, pause the video, have a rest, come back and begin, okay? It's more important that you protect your back than you finish in 1 set, okay? All right, let's begin. Here we go. So legs are up, balls are in between. We're starting parallel. We're going to go turn out, parallel, down to 45. Turn out, parallel, down, almost 90. Turn out, parallel, back to 45. Turn out, and in, and back. Let's repeat. 1 and 2 and down. And 1 and 2 and down. And 1 and 2 and down. And 1 and 2 back up. I need just my ball here. Let's go again. Turn it up. And in and down. And out and in and down and out. And in and up and out and in and up. All right. I think I was a little too ambitious with 8 sets. Let's go for 2 more. You ready? Here we go. And turn it out. And in and down and out and in and down and out and in and up and out and in and up. Last set. Out and in and down and out, in and down, out and in and up, out and in and up. All right. Well, my ball completely deflated while I was doing that. Sad. Okay. Well, so those were our 3 exercises trying to get to feel the deep six. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go back and to repeat those. So the first one was, the first one was pressing into the pillows or the balls with the knees. The second one was the loop or TheraBand. Okay, extending the legs, turning out. And then the last one was the ball with the inner thigh press, okay? Once you've done that, come back, and we're going to now do some exercises to practice turning out with balletic movement. Okay, so the first one's going to be développé devant. Okay, so one of the times we're really thinking about our turnout is our développés, usually in adage, because the music is so slow. It's like you're moving so slowly, it's completely evident whether or not you're properly rotated or not. So we start with the right leg in front, and we're going to do this in laying down. You're going to use your hands to guide you. You want to keep that supporting leg, in this case your right hip, on the ground, okay, the whole time. You don't want to let it roll or to lift up. You're going to keep it down. So you're going to leave your hand there to keep it down. You're going to trace the working leg up through the rotator devant. And you're going to bring it through the attitude, pressing that thigh away to hold the rotation into the full extension, and then lengthening again. Okay? So we're basically doing a double devant laying down. It's nothing fancy. This time I don't want you to think about height. The height would be hip flexor work and hamstring. I want you to think purely about rotation. Okay, this is all about building up the strength to turn out as much as you are able to do. Okay, so when you lower the leg, you are able to go more intentionally through the movement, because you're not trying to recruit all these crazy muscles to get your leg up so high. So do it lower so you can just think about the rotation. Not worry about how high it is. You're on your own. You don't have to worry about anyone watching you, So there's no judgment. There's no comparison. Just consider and focus on what the rotation is feeling like in your body. Okay, careful that you're supporting hip, you're supporting leg. Stay rotated and stay on the ground. But we're gonna do form one leg. Switch to the other side. Are we ready? Yes. Okay. So laying down, you got your good position here. Hand on your supporting hip, and we come up 1 and 2. No rolling here. Hand on the thigh. 3 and 4. Show the attitude. Stretch it up. Are you rotating both legs? Yes. Lengthening down. And 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Here's number 3. 1 and 2. Turn it out. You can. And 3 and 4. Channel those muscles that you found earlier. 1. Careful you're not clenching in the bottom. 2 and 3 and 4. Switching legs. Hands on opposite hip. Here you go. 1. Through the attitude. 2. Lengthen it down. 3 and squeeze. And back up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Number 3. 1. Hip stays down. You can do it. 2. Lay that thigh down. Spiral. 3 and 4. Last time. 1 and 2. Turn it out. You can do it. 3 and 4. Excellent. Go over to your side. We're going to do one for double pit and alasakans now. Now, I highly recommend getting something to put behind your bottom. I'll show you why. So you're going to scoot up right next to whatever you have behind your bottom here. So we're going to start in, let's start in first position. We're going to do double pays and the alasakans, okay? And you have to be really careful to keep your hips stacked. What you're going to want to probably feel is you're going to want to roll backwards, and you're going to have to keep nice and stacked with both legs staying turned out. Okay, so you're going to double pay up 1 and 2. Almost stretch it, turn it out some more, and fully stretch it, turn it out some more, and lengthen it down. Okay, same thing here. You're not going for a crazy extension. You're going for rotation. Okay, so don't worry how high the leg is. You want to be concerned with how much you're rotating it. Okay, we'll do 4 on each side of this. You can lay your head down here. Okay, just making sure that. Okay, here we go. 1, 2. Bring it up. Rotate both legs. Full extension. Rotate and lengthen. Be careful you're not clenching your tush. 1 and 2. 3. Rotate again. Release the glutes. Extend and lengthen. And 2. There's this is number 3. And up. Rotate some more. And extend. Check that you're not rolling. And release. And last one, up. And coming up. Rotate. Extend. Rotate some more. Lengthen your bottom. And down. And flip around to the other side. do the other leg. So constantly be checking, are my hips stacked on top of each other? Am I trying to lengthen, okay? Lengthen my glutes. Here we go, we ready? And up, 2, 3, rotate, and extend, rotate some more, and lengthen. Again, up, 2, and lift, and extend, rotate some more, and lengthen. Number 3, up, lift, rotate, rotate, extend, and lengthen, and up, and lift, rotate, and extend, and lengthen. Okay, awesome. So now that we've done our devant and our second, we have to do our arabesque, of course. So you have the option of doing this one with TheraBand or sans TheraBand, without your TheraBand. If you're going to do it with your TheraBand, you're going to have to tie the end off in a little loop so you can put your foot through it. I'm going to show you without first. Just adjust my camera so you can see the whole thing. Okay. So you're going to start this one in first position with your hands on the ground. Okay. Sure. Into my feet. Okay. Lovely. All right. So you're going to be standing on one leg. You're going to dégage one leg behind you. And starting here, rotate. Okay. You're going to come to 90 degrees. Rotate some more. Come all the way to your full height. Rotate some more. Come back down and rest. Okay. We'll do 4 on each side. So we go 1, rotate, 2, rotate, full height, rotate. Okay, 4 times in a row. All right, here we go. And dégage. Oh, before we start, let me show you if you want to do it with your TheraBand. What you've got to do is, sorry about that, is pop your working leg, the leg that's going to go up, and the end of the loop part. Okay. And then you're going to take the other part of it, not the end, because you don't want some resistance. And you're going to stand on it with your other leg. Rotate, of course. So you've got one foot in the TheraBand, and the other one is standing on it. So you'll go dégage, rotate, 90 degrees, rotate, and all the way up. You're going to need to practice. Just make sure you have enough TheraBand to get you all the way up. Otherwise, if you have too much resistance, it's going to be impossible to get your leg up. Okay. Let's start. Ready? And rotate in the dégage. Come to 90. Turn out some more. Don't clench your bum. Come all the way up. Rotate some more. And back down. As you come all the way up, be careful that you're not opening your hips too much. You want to try to maintain squareness as much as possible. Okay? There's going to be a little bit of opening. That's okay, but we don't want complete opening of the body. Okay? And here we go again. 1, rotate. And 2, rotate. And 3, rotate, rotate. And back down. Third set. 1, rotate. 2, rotate even more. 3, rotate. And back down. And let's go the fourth set. Here we go. 1, rotate. 2, rotate. 3, rotate. And back down. Okay, flip sides. Okay, you ready? All right, here we go. First position. Good. Adjust your TheraBand if you're using it. Yes, here we go. Dégage, rotate. And lift, rotate. All the way up, rotate. And back down. Dégage, rotate. And 90, rotate. And all the way up, rotate, rotate. And back down. And dégage, rotate. 90 degrees, rotate. All the way up, rotate. And down. And last one. Dégage, rotate. 90 degrees, rotate. All the way up, rotate. And back down. Okay. So I just want to remind you that these exercises are for rotation. They're not for height. So if you didn't get your leg all the way up to like a full needle, that's not the point. That's not the most important part. It's about trying to feel the rotation and learn how to rotate in all the different degrees of height. Okay, whatever those are for you. Okay, so we're going to finish with that. You're more than welcome to go through those again, starting with the développé devant, then the elásicon, then the arabesque. If you didn't do the TheraBand the first time, maybe you want to try it the second time to give yourself some extra resistance. That's a great idea. If you have any questions, let me know. I know that you all are also concerned with the heights of your leg, so I'll be bringing you a video, in a week or so about how to safely and technically train the body to be able to extend higher, because we want to do that in a way that is technically correct and is safe for our bodies. Those are the two most important parts, with safety being the primary concern. Okay, so remember, rotation is that joint. Okay, it's the leg, the head of the femur moving in the pelvis. Okay, so it's a joint movement strengthened and controlled by your deep six muscles. So learning how to strengthen those muscles, feel those muscles, is really the key to controlling your turnout. Okay, all right. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again soon. Bye.